Today's state of the market for law firm sales in 7 minutes. My name is Jeremy Poock, and I lead Senior Attorney Match. In today's In 7 Minutes, we're going to analyze and discuss the five components to valuing a law practice post 2020. So, before we can get into post 2020, let's take a look at what we used to call the four components to valuing a law firm pre 2020. And those components consist of the client list, the referral source list, the goodwill of a senior attorney, and the subject matter knowledge. And when we're talking about senior attorneys, we're focusing on attorneys that have practiced more than 30 years, and they've developed these four components of value over the course of their careers. Now, 2020, such a whirlwind that year threw us all into. And in the next infographic, what we'll show is a historical perspective that focuses on consumer retention and how it has migrated to convenience over the past 30 years. But we can see how quickly in 2020 what has happened. That is in 1.0, which is the pre-Google era, where most senior attorneys developed their practices. That was really a word of mouth era in terms of business development. 2000 to 2019, we're introducing websites. Google is coming into play. Lawyers are starting to recognize the importance of LinkedIn. 2020, we're all at home. We are ordering everything and anything on Amazon. We're working out on Pelotons. We're ordering food on Grubhub. Lawyers and law firms are now embracing the digital age, and they're introducing multi-channel digital marketing into their practices. And hence, starting in 2020, we've now introduced a fifth component to the value of a lawyer's law practice. And that fifth component, as we'll see here, is the digital value. That is that clients are reaching out to firms today because they're not depending on word of mouth. They're depending on what we call America's greatest referral source, Google. Uncle Google. People are Googling everything today, and they're Googling for their attorneys as well. And growing law firms in particular, they are recognizing that to attract clients post 2020, deploying and implementing upon a multi-channel digital marketing approach is how they're attracting clients. So question comes up about the value that senior attorneys have. Where is that value going to be most wanted in the marketplace as senior attorneys are considering, how do I sell my law practice? And here what we'll show is the synergy value that senior attorneys present in particular to growing law firms. That is, growing law firms can benefit from the instant client growth that senior attorneys present by that client list that they've developed over the course of their careers. Senior attorneys have both themselves and other lawyers typically that are working with them, and talented support staff combined together add tremendous synergy value to growing law firms. The cumulative experience that a senior attorney has developed in that subject matter knowledge in one, two, or two plus areas of practice that a senior attorney has practiced in throughout his or her career adds tremendous value to growing law firms. And then that marketing value, that fifth chip that we talked about before of the digital value, really an underutilized value by so many senior attorneys that would love to have the time to market themselves more. And by joining growing law firms that have already embraced multi-channel digital marketing, presents the opportunity to really market senior attorneys to their existing client base and their existing referral sources, as well as to the greater public in their given community, state, nation, sometimes even internationally. And just to look at this a little bit differently in terms of that value that senior attorneys present to growing law firms, the source of energy for law firms has been, is, and will always be clients. Firms of any size are always looking to add new clients. And when we look at this infographic in terms of the windmills, those four components of value that pre-2020 that so many senior attorneys have in terms of that client list, referral source list, their goodwill, and the subject matter knowledge adds so much value in terms of generating new clients for growing law firms. And for today's buzzer beater, which is really our perspective on where the market is for the state of law firm sales, what we'll show next is a perspective on the shifting consumer behavior for where consumers are going today in terms of where they're looking and searching for their lawyers. And as we can see here, it's heavily dependent upon that multi-channel digital marketing that we continue to talk about. That is, that lawyers are being searched for today on Google. They're being researched on LinkedIn, videos that are appearing of lawyers that are impressing potential clients on the subject matter knowledge that they know. Hence, the growing law firms are attracting, or really firms that deploy this level of business development via marketing in a digital manner, as compared to lawyers that maintain a website only and attract fewer clients. What does this mean for senior attorneys? And we'll show next that for senior attorneys that are not embracing the digital age yet, aren't growing that fifth component of value, they're actually at risk for their client list and referral source list not to grow at a similar pace that it grew in law firm 1.0 and 2.0, especially when they relied upon and continue relying upon today on that word of mouth. Now, in terms of what to do for senior attorneys whose client lists and referral source lists may not be getting replenished as quickly as in the past, we'll just show again that synergy value. In today's market, state of the market for law firm sales, we highly recommend that senior attorneys consider joining growing law firms that recognize that great synergy value that senior attorneys present. And for growing law firms thinking, how do we grow? Welcoming in senior attorneys into their practice is a tremendous win-win opportunity. And that's today's In 7 Minutes for the state of the market for law firm sales. Thank you so much.